and welcome to Case on Vedic Astrology. Have you ever been in a situation where you meet someone, or you know someone who is brilliant, who's really intelligent, really smart, and really awakened and able to understand a lot of things, but they just don't seem to understand you. Whatever you say, they just don't get that. Everything else, they know. And interestingly, they will disagree with you on a certain point, and they will agree with everybody else on the same point. Like if you try to tell them something, they will disagree with you. But if the same thing is being told to them by a different person, they just agree it, and they just seem to understand absolutely, crystal clear. But when you say something like this, they just don't seem to understand, and there's always this confusion and this doubt in your mind that this person is brilliant, but why is he not able to understand what I'm saying? Or am I saying something wrong? So this situation puts you in a sort of a doubt, am I not telling him something right? Am I doing something wrong? Or why is this person not willing to listen to me? Or what's really going on? So today, that is what we're going to discuss about. We're going to discuss about different frequencies on which people are working, and this frequency we are analyzing it from the point of view of the frequency of numbers to simplify it for our understanding. So what we are basically going to talk about today is the frequency of numbers. So how we're going to take this session forward is that I will talk about the numbers starting from 1 to number 9, and then the what kind of personality these numbers represent, and then with who are the friendly numbers to these numbers, and who are the enemy numbers, and the numbers which are neutral. So basically what we're trying to do through this exercise is that whenever we come in contact with someone, whether we are already with them, or a new person who comes in our life, or our family, or our friends, or anyone, we can just do this quick exercise to find out okay, so this is approximate, this is their personality type, and this is my personality type. So is it going to gel well, or is there going to be some kind of conflict? And if there going to be any conflict, is there a possibility of resolving it? So the remedy part is not what we're going to discuss so much today, because this is really it's difficult to find a remedy for that, because they have a very strong opinion about certain energies, it's like finding a remedy to have cold fire. So but there is a way you can create that. So that is what is for later video. But in today's video, what we're going to talk about is this, that the frequency of different numbers, and their friendly frequencies, their enemy frequencies, and the neutral frequencies. Okay, so let's start with the number that most important, one of the most important number, because that's where we get our counting started off from. So we are not keeping 0 in consideration over here, because we are going to relate these numbers with us by finding out the you can say the destiny number, or an important number in a person's life using their birth date. So what we're doing is we are going to take the birth date of a person and bring it down to the total of the numbers in of the date on which this person was born, and based on that we're trying to understand their personality. Again, I would like to share with you that there are different levels, different layers of breaking down this birth details. So what I'm sharing with you right now is only at one level. There are many more levels. There are many more ways of looking at it. So this is a basic startup to just give, it's like an introduction, so that you understand, or that something like this also exists, and this is also another way of looking at things and understanding people. Okay, so number 1. Now this number 1 is like what it says, number 1. So this is a number for people who are really boss. really leaders, or I would not just say leaders, because it's not necessary that they always want to lead, but they always want to boss. That is there. The quality of number one is dependent on many factors for a particular person. So the many factors are like his complete horoscope, his complete arrangement of different energies, different frequencies at which he's working at different levels within his own existence or within their own existence, right? But what we're talking about is the basic of number one. So the basic of number one is like somebody who has number one as an important number, or their destiny number. They're just bossy. Not necessarily a good or a bad boss, but they are a boss. That's how they see themselves. That's how they want to be treated. They want to be like alpha, of whatever they're doing, and they want to be followed. They want everyone to come to them for conflict resolution. They want a lot of attention. So when you are with a number one person, they will try to control you. They will try to offer you solutions, and they will try to resolve your issues. And if you don't want their help, they will make you take their help. They're by force or by whatever, depending on in which position or which situation they are in your life. But they basically try to control. They basically are like, I'm the boss here, so you have to listen to what I'm saying. Sometimes I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but sometimes like Donald Trump, when he's talking to when he's giving his interviews, and he says like, fake news, you're fake news, and to everyone, and he's like, no, I don't want to answer your question, or something like that. They're very, very strong in whatever they want to say. They will just say that. So that's number one. Number two, people who have their destiny number as number two, these people are like pacifiers, or they're like guardians, or they're like these people who are natural protectors. They just want to protect everyone. They just want to save everyone. But there's a difference between their saving and number one saving, because number one saving is like, you need that because I want to give you. Number two is like, you need that and I want to give you because I think I have it, and I want to give it from my heart, like not for to prove myself stronger than you, but I want to give it to you genuinely because I feel that you might just get benefited. Like they have a number two has like a very motherly, you can say motherly kind of a nature, that they just want to protect you, even if you don't want the protection. But they are not going to force it. But it's like the force is subtle. Like they would guide you, and if you will not understand, they will guide you again. So they just keep on guiding. They are, but the issue with them is like they are trying to save everyone, trying to protect everyone, trying to be there for everyone. But at the same time, they need similar kind of so you can say a feedback or energy from other numbers or other people, because somewhere they are also having a regular roller coaster ride. That's their nature. So they're also regularly going up and down. So they will always, all the time, they will be just giving, and sometimes they just forget to ask, or people forget to give them. So that is their struggle in their life. Then comes number three. Now number three people, these people, they assume themselves to be like really wise men. They assume themselves to be like natural guru. So you will find them just giving a lot of preaching, mostly. They just want to preach. Now this preaching is not necessarily the way in which we understand or hear the word preach. This can be in any way. They can be like just sharing some information or whatever. But what they want basically is they want them to be recognized as gurus. They want them to be recognized as beings of wisdom. They want to be like seen as like a really brilliant person. And they are, you can say, a combination of number one and two, because they have strong leadership. They also pacify. They are a combination of both the things. So they have a lot of ego. At the same time, they are also aware of that okay, this is my ego talking right now. So number 3 people are like this, like they are really wise. Depending on their chart, they can be using or applying their wisdom towards betterment, or they can be just using their wisdom towards really not the places where they should be applying the wisdom. Maybe just having too much of ego and just looking down on everyone else and telling them like you're not worthy, you're not right. Like these are the a lot of people we come across in our life who will tell us like, this is what you have to do, but you're not worthy. You can never do this unless you take my help. It's because they're gurus. So if they are a good guru, if the numbering or the frequency of other numbers and everything in their chart is good, then they would be offering that free of cost. Or free of cost means like free of being biased, from their heart. But if it's not good, then they are the ones who are going to make you feel really inferior. That's number 3. Moving on to number 4. Number 4 people are absolute chaos. They are absolute chaos. But there are again, their chaos is of 2 types. One is like they want people who want to cause chaos, and the other is the ones who are themselves in big chaos. So number 4 people can be, sometimes people would want to pity them because they just not able to see things, very simple things, but they are just not able to understand it because they need to follow their pattern and they need to bring order in their pattern, and that pattern is chaos. So if they develop a certain pattern, they will just keep on following that, and they keep on going around and round and round, and it takes away a lot of their energy and it causes a lot of frustration. So you will find people who are just quickly one day doing something else, the other day doing something else, or even if they're doing something for a very long time, they just don't seem to get it, or they're just struggling a lot. They are number 4 people, or people who are causing a lot of chaos around us. They are also number 4. Maybe basically you can say that number 4 people are the ones who have some or the other kind of struggle all through their life. Sometimes it's about something else, sometimes it's about something else. So you can expect, or you can experience a lot of polarities as well in their personality. They can be somebody else some days, they can be somebody else some day. They can actually reflect this a lot, like and they can actually confuse you by this, that you will not be able to understand, like, why is this person doubting me when this person actually trusts me? So they can say these kind of contradictory statements as well, like they would be trusting you a lot, but they would be doubting you a lot at the same time. So number 4 becomes like a really sensitive number, and the number 4 is like a number which is really heavy karmic number, so that's about number 4. Moving on, number 5. So number 5 people are those people who will not talk to you unless you give them some data. If you tell them a story, a beautiful story, trees and mountains and everything, they will just listen to you and So are you saying that if I add this with that and this thing, and they give you an explanation in numbers, and then they say, like, so the outcome of this entire story that you've told me is that I can make money with this, or the outcome of this entire story is like, okay, so they will try to you are telling them a beautiful story, and they're thinking, I think maybe this person wants to have dinner with me, or maybe this person wants to borrow some money from me, or maybe this person has some agenda. Like, basically they are just trying to apply their mind in finding out what can be possibilities, probable possibilities. They are not really interested in your stories. They are interested in the outcomes, and very direct and very driven with numbers. So if you are around a person who is number 5, they get really impressed when you talk to them in numbers. They really like it. If you have to present them an idea, if you have to present them anything, you talk in numbers, or you talk in logic, apply a lot of logic, they will understand that for a certain thing. If you say that logic, they are like, yeah, I know this. Otherwise, they are like completely, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, these are like the people, if you follow that, the Big Bang Theory, you have this guy Sheldon over there, pretty much like them. So from the logical aspect, not from all the aspects of his personality, but like this one, like you give him an explanation of complete beautiful setup of things and everything, and he will not understand. You tell him like, hey, this is a social convention, and he's like, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, so number 5 people are like this. Number 6 people, they are a bit eccentric. They are a bit high all the time on nothing. They're just extremely high. They are like a bit crazy. They are like, you can see them like, these are the people who would never shop in their entire life. They would always stay in home. They would just wear whatever has been given to them, or whatever. They would never consider that. Or else, it's hard to get them out of a shopping mall, because that's where they want to be. This is an example. The areas can be different, but they are a bit obsessed. And a bit more, obsessed more with beauty, like more obsessed with light, loud light, nice music, nice food, and all kind of luxuries and everything. Based on their chart, it can be completely opposite as well. They could be somebody who just doesn't like to do any of these things. They just don't care. Whatever you feed them, they're like, okay. Whatever you give them to wear, they're okay. They just don't care. They're a bit eccentric. So and this pattern or this thought also keeps changing. But they're different from number 4. Number 4 is chaos. They are helpless. Number 6 is like, no, I think this particular thing is giving me what I want right now. They're on a high. Number 7 people. Now, number 7 people are like those people, like they're like James Bond kind of people, because everything just happens at the right place at the right time for them. They are like, I don't know how it happened. I was not even aiming for that, and I was just here, and wow, it's just happening for me. So number 7 people, like that's why a lot of times you will hear the word lucky 7. This is why the number 7 is considered so lucky. That's why I think probably James Bond is 007, because number 7 brings natural and unnatural luck out of nowhere. So you were going somewhere, or you were in a place because it was a punishment for you, and suddenly out of that punishment you just get the best deal or best thing out of your life. So they can just get anything from anywhere. That's number 7 people. So they're like really, at the right place on right time. Then comes number 8 people. Number 8 people, they are generally sad. Whatever happens in their life, whatever you're doing, they have no reason. They're just sad. Or like sadists, they just get pleasure in sadness. They just get that. Or you can say they are observing, and so what they like to do is like you put them in a situation, and the situation might be good or bad or whatever. What they will do is like they will not react to it. They will just keep on observing it. Like okay, what's happening? It's like in a very slow motion, in a very you will find it's very calm and everything, but it's not really calm. It's like they're just making friends with too much of friends with their own shadows, or too much of friendship with their own sorrows. They just like it. But this again depends on or varies from person to person, depending completely on their individual chart, which will tell us like at what level of the sadness is this person. So some might be really like number 8 people are like, I don't know if you've seen this, if you follow Hindi movies, there is an actor like Ajay Devgan, and he used to like he don't know, he used to act in these movies in the 90s where he's going to be like this sad hero, like everything is going against him, like people in his life are dying, his girlfriend is going away, he's getting beaten up, he's like this, and still he has his hair flowing like this, and he's just walking. There's some pain in his eye, and just making sacrifices all the time and doing this kind of stuff. So if you can imagine like a romantic hero, which is like just making all kind of sacrifices all the time, or is surrounded by sadness all the time, they are heroic, but then they're brave, they will fight, but that's their nature. So you will find them like these people are sometimes the most dependable people. When you need them, they will come there, but they will come there and then they will take away a lot of your sadness, and then start again going back into their own mode of like, okay, so it's actually, it's really sad. But that depends again on their complete chart, so which we should not judge number 8 so quickly, because number 8 is also if you move it a bit, it becomes the sign of infinity. So number 8 is a number which is really hard, very hard to define, really hard, because you don't know how it's going to be, or what can it bring in. So it sometimes seems like a sad number, or sometimes like not sometimes, generally seems like that, but sometimes it can be really, really. Number 8 is the real number of abundance. Is number 8. We talk about other numbers like this, or we see these patterns and everything, and we say this is abundance, but that's not abundance. Number 8 is the number of abundance. But abundance of what? That depends on the person's chart.